he wants to fulfill what we're doing here, and let's go over to page Tuf Nun Dalet. That's where we stopped the last time. He's really going to go through some things in a nice way. I think that as a review for us, but at the same time putting it in order. Let me see how I can get this. What I'm doing here. Wind up. Okay, we're on the place in the left column where it says Kriya Shema Shalamita. We went through the first three Kriya Shemas, and now we're going to go over here. Kodem Kriya Shema Yeshnam Bezer Anpin Rakas Amochan the Yanika Ditzadik Devula. So in Vatevis Yisrael, so you say the magic word, which is the word Yisrael. Nimshachin Lo Chalambad Mem to Devuna. So now you have all of the. I think these are the Mochan the Kadnas. Yeah, Mochan the Yanika is the same thing as Mochan the Kadnas. Vatevis Echad. So when you come to the word Echad, which is where we're Ma'alaman. Ramalaman is a mochan the Yanika Shekibel Atar Shehem the Lambad Men to Devuna. So I want to say that what was added on is what is offered up. V'lechein ha-mochan ha-nimshachem b'zibuk zeh the Yasas of Devuna. Hey mochan the Gadlas the Madrega Dalit, which is what? Shehem Kitzonius Yasas. Now just 1 second. He said the Hey ha-mochan the Gadlas the Madrega Dalit. Up above it says b'zibuk Yasas v'Tevuna. Okay, so you have a yichud that takes place between the parts of up above, but the Buddha b'nim shachin lo hamomochin the tzalim the yasas, and they get the tzalim the yasas the yanika shehim chaserim lo, and it gets that. And so according to the amount that's brought in, the fi erech hamochim, and according to the erech of the mochim and nimshachim ata shehim hayoser ketanim b'ma'ala, which is really the lowest quality. The Hasa Zivuk the Yaakov Aleah, min the Chaza the Mata, so from the Chaza going downwards, Shuhu HaZivuk HaKatan b'Ma'ala Makulam, which is the small, we say the least qualitative, or it has the least amount of juice within it. Nimsta the Fi Zecher Shekol HaChilukim B'Bein HaTefilos, Hein Rak B'Zivuk the Zun Atzman, really has to do with the yichud that takes place with Zun themselves, depending on the quality of the shefa that comes. But the fact of the mochin coming in Kriya Shema, amshachas a mochin shava the ma'isa b'kol daled sidri Kriya Shema, that the fact that mochin are coming in, not sure what he means, because he just went through and he told us that this is different. So he says here, so let me see if I got the words good, that hamshachas a mochin shava the ma'isa b'kol daled sidri Kriya Shema. Shebekulim name shachin call a mochin the yanika, because in all of them they mamshech the mochin the yanika and the vakta godless, and also the lower 6 spheros of godless. Vashinu who rak b'sei the knesses of mochin the yanika. The only difference is in the order in which they come in. Elu mehem. So which ones of them? Elu mehem. Which ones of them? Yesh l'zun. Kavar Bekodim, that Zun had them to begin with. What did he have to begin with? And what comes at the time of Yisrael? So what gets sent out in the word Echad? B'yachad ima mochin devok, together with the mochin devok, the godless. So what exactly comes in has to do with the novelty. Now we have a drawing here, so we'll go through the drawing a little bit. So on the right-hand column, we have the word Kriya Shema. So he must tell you that there are 4 different times we say Kriya Shema. And he says, or 4 different places where Kriya Shema is. Yeah, these are 4 different places we say Kriya Shema. Then the next one is the Mochid, Inikim Shechoya L'Zach B'Kvar Kodem Kriya Shema. Then the next category is what does I have. So in Yoser, he has a Selin to Devuna, and Karbanis, he has only the Tzadik to Devuna starting at the very bottom. Arvis, he says to tell him he has the Tzelim, the complete Tzelim to Devuna, and Lamita, he has only the Tzadik to Devuna. And then over here, when you say the magic word Yisrael, now that's up at the top now. So it has to do with the Hashlom of this, and then what is offered up. So over on the next column, it's going to be Echad. You come to the word Echad, and then you're going to be Ma'alaman. So he says in Kriya Shema, the Kriya Shema, in Yotzer, you're going to get the Vok, the Godless, the Devuna, is all of that is going to come in. It's going to be, all of this is going to be offered up. And you go through each one of them, and they will tell you what it is exactly that is being offered up. It's something that we've seen before, and he's just condensing it here so we can get an idea. Let me move over to, let's continue onward. So he says, Hamshachas Hamochin Letzorach Eze Partsufim. So now we're gonna talk about the Hamshacha, the Mochin. To what Partsufim are they going? Let's see, what does he mean by that? Hine Kuvarn is Barsha Betafidus Chakras, Na'asa Chaziva Bekeda Bebenimim de Yaakov Arachel. So we want to say, what's the action there? So there we're getting the most intimate part of the Shefa. The fetus mincha na'asa chaziva b'kelev emseim the Yaakov Arachel. The fetus arvis na'asa chaziva b'kelev gitzoni the Yaakov Arachel. So he said, "V'gam seder hamshachas hamochin b'kriyas shema hu al derek zeh." So what happens in Kriya Shema goes more or less the same way. The mezivug yasas tevuna na'asa b'kriyas Shema, because in the yichud that takes place between Yasas and Devuna Na'asa v'Kriya Shema the Shachris, Nimshachin Amochin the Gadlus the Keilim B'Penimim the Yaakov Arachel, and Bezivug Yasach the Devuna Na'asa v'Kriya Shema the Arvis, Nimshachin Amochin the Gadlus the Keilim Chitzonim the Yaakov Arachel. So you have these three. Well, what about the one at Mincha time? So he says, Achein, so that we say like this. So here's the answer. He says, Achein, b'tefillas of mincha, get this lined up a little bit better. Achein, b'tefillas of mincha, shehin omrim bo kriya shema, there's no kriya shema there, then how are you going to bring things down? Kosav Rav, he says in the first drush in Kriya Shema, Shehul defisha b'kriya shema the chakras, nimshachim mochem b'yasas v'tavuna d'zun, Hein l'tzorach hizivug de shakri v'hein l'tzorach hizivug de mitcha. What does that mean? Hainu, the mazivug de yasas de vuna shebekriya shema de shakris, nimshachin amochem hein l'keilim b'penimim de Yaakov Arachel l'tzorach hizivug de shakris, v'hein l'keilim b'mseim de Yaakov Arachel l'tzorach hizivug de mitcha. So these Keilim are brought out in chakras. It's up both for chakras and for mincha. Now, it seems to me that takes a little bit more analysis exactly, but it means, he says, I'm going to get his words again. We go back to the mahaziva, the yasas, the vuna, shebekriya shema, the chakras, the mshachin, the mochins, and over the mochin for both. Hein the Keilim b'Benim the Yaakov Arachel the Tzorach Haziva the Shachar, Hein the Keilim Amseim the Yaakov Arachel the Tzorach Haziva the Mincha, both in the Seder Hamshacha Na'asa b'Kriya Shema the Shachris who kafel. It's a double Hamshacha. The Kol HaSeder Na'asa Hana'ase Hein Klape Kli Benimi the Yaakov Arachel v'Hein Klape Kli Amsoy. Amnam rak havok the devuna the kli amsoy. Only the vok of the kli amsoy. Mispashet bezun kavar b'kriya shema the chakras, which is that amsoy that also already happened at kriya shema the chakras. V'chabashar hamochin the gadlus. Then all the rest of the mochin the gadlus. Even though we see that they already came in the Kriya Shema and the Shach, become makom enim niknasim after the zon. So they originally in the chakras they got all the mochin, but overall I'm not sure what he means by that. The Kriya Shema the chakras become makom enim niknasim after the zon, el nishar la'amal gabi zir anpen ad tefillas mincha until they come to the time of mincha. And then they come in at the time of Birchas Avos. I want to read it one more time. It's an idea that I should have, but I always have this sort of like screen that I have to get through to get to the penimius of his ideas, which is very simple, and we've seen them before. So all of this, all of the Mochin the Godless came in. He says that's what's bothering me. He says, "Aval shar hamochin the godless, the rest of the mochin shenimshucha kavar b'kriya shema the chakras." Well, the mochin the godless At Kriya Shema, in Chakras, all of the mochin don't come in at that time. They have to come in at Shmona Esrei. The Gar, at any rate, Mikol Makom Einim Niknasim Ata the Zun, but in any case, the whole bunch doesn't go into Zun now at all. Ela Nish'arin La'amad Agabizah Ad Tefillas Mincha, until you get to the Minas of Mincha, they don't come into Zeranpin. Va'oz Chem Niknasim Bo Bebirchus Avos the Mincha, and then when you say Birchus Avos, that's when the bundle comes in. Kriya Shema Hane'amaras B'Seder HaKorbanos, the Tefillah Shachris. So let's go to the Kriya Shema that we say right away in Shachris. Na'asis Hamshachas HaMochen L'Tzorek Zivug Yaakov Arachel. So we have this coming back. He says B'Seder HaKorbanos and the card. So you have the Mochen L'Tzorek Zivug the Yaakov Arachel the Keilim B'Nimim. Excuse me. Anasa b'sim shalom, the shachris, which is made at sim, which actually the yichud takes place at that point, kenizgar. The kriya shema sh'al hamita, then you come to the kriya shema hamita, and the asat hamshachas hamochad etzorg zivud the kadsha haprati. Then you come to that, and that is going to have something we're going to see later on in Simon Hay, more about what we got back into. Kadsha again. The phrase was of a kriya shema sh'al hamita. So you're coming now at the beginning of the day, actually. Shalamita, or let's see, at the end of the day, I don't know which way he's talking about. The Kriya Shema Shalamita, Na'asas Hamshachas Amochad Etzorek Azivad the Kadsha Prati. So then the Kadsha, there's two different kinds of Kadsha. There's one that's Prati, and the other one is the Kadsha HaKolel. So let's go on. We learned a little bit about that. We'll see more about it. That's Hashem. So and then the next part says Seder Hamshachas Ana'asas B'Tefillah. So what actually is the order of the Hamshacha that goes to the different types of Tefillah? So let's see this again. Tefillah Shachris, but Tefillah Shachris Nimsa the Zecha B'Techidacha be called Salam Amochan the Yanika the Yasa. The entire Salam comes in at the Milcha the Yanika the Shabbos, all of the Salam of Kadnas. But la'achar mekan called Salam Amochan the Godless, the Yasos B'Shlemus Hein the Ach ve'Hein the Panim. That's what actually happens in the Tefillah in the morning. V'chaseda b'pratos hu shebekorbanos. When we look at the korbanos, b'zmiros of the yotzer, olam and yotzer. These are three different times we say we're going to say Kriya Shema, or we're going to mention that. He says, so he says, Olim, Ba'olamos bia habirurim da'ach v'depanim dekeda b'medimin shetikunam b'shakris, that we fit into chakras. V'amsa'iyim, that is also the emsa shetikunam, that we also fix them up. B'mincha v'olim ba'berurim ad heichul kodeh kedashim, the olam abriya, and these berurim go all the way up into what we're talking about elsewhere, the mochas timah, or they go up the room of Mo'alos, the Olam Abriya, to the very top of Bria. Now he has a little note here, down number Dalet. So he says, well, the Das Chedek Mefarshim, Olam Ke'ez, what's going on now is Gam Habirurim, the Keilim Gitzonim, also the Keilim Gitzonim also come up at that time. The Tzorach Hamshacha de Arvis, so Yeshua and Halon, he's going to have that in the Simon's Mav. He's going to get back into that idea again. So let's go back over here. So at Kriya Shema, only what you want, only Aliyah of the Acharayim ad Roma Ma'alos, it goes all the way up into Roma Ma'alos. So it remains. Remains up above. Then this happens. Then what happens is the mochin the godless the ach v'yordim the parts of Achiboyim the Yisrael Sabbat the Vundach of his Davgim. So he said v'noilad salam, and then what happens as a result of that yichud? V'nolad salam the mochin the yasos v'salam mochin the devuna the ach, only on the ach side. v'ne'amodim al gabi hazah, and they're standing on top of the head of Zah. Hazah v'rak hamochen devokta devuna to godless. Only the vokta devuna is gonna mistashim ke'ez b'tevis echad. That's all that will come down as a result of your saying the word echad, the Kriya Shema. B'sheshes sefiras rishona Zah. So where do they go? They go to the Chabad Chagat of Zah. Leaves the nai open. La'achem bekan b'birchus avos nimshachim sheris hamochen to godless. Then when birchus avos, the gar that tzaddik the v'alamed mem defuna, and the gar of the tzaddik comes in, and also the lamed mem defuna, which is going to be the makifi, the whole thing's coming. V'chat salam the yasus, also the whole salam Yaakov's coming. Yasus comes in also. Sha'am dechapagabe reish the zah. That previously they were on top of the head of zah. And then they come in, they spread into Zer Anpin. So now you have the Mochen the Ach came into the Kli Hapanimi. Now I think we had a number Hey down at the bottom. And Hey said like this, it was on the phrase V'niknasim b'shpata b'zun. For Chaseda Bepratos, he wants to say like this, a little detail that would be nice to know. He says, Elokei Avraham ve'elokei Yitzchak ve'elokei Yaakov. So those are the parts there that something different is happening in each one. He said, of an Imshachim Hagar, the Iba v'ranai, the Abba. So you say the word, when you say the words Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak ve'elokei Yaakov, when those words, that phrase is said, Nimshachim agar the ima v'hanai the Abba. So you get the entire ima comes in now, and the beginning of Abba, that is the nai of Abba, the lowest part of Abba starts coming in. You say the word Gomel, and the Chagat the Abba comes in. You say the word Kone HaKol, the Chaba the Abba comes in. We know that Kone HaKol is a little bit complicated. Let me bring this phone back here and just knock it over. So he said, where are we? Kone HaKol, Chaba da Abba, that comes in, and apparently, I think it means that at the same time, the Mekifi, the Lamed Mem, the Abba Ve'ima also come in at that time. So that's the sequence that it takes place on. That was number Hey, or up here at the top. So he says, so now you come to the word Ba'ava. So now he gave you really a quick idea of what's going on, of how it is, where at the different places you have in the Tefillah Shmona Esrei, these different aspects of the Mochen the Godless come in. He says, so he says, La'achar mekan b'tevis Ba'ava, Olim biruri hapanim mehechul kodek kadoshim debria ad ruma alo. So then what happens then is the birurim of the face and the word ba'av. It causes this to go up in man. The bria ad roma ma'alav na'asa zivug da'av sag da'ak. V'nim shachin amochen depanim parts of it, and then starts coming down. All these things ad shiboim liyasos v'tavuna, until they come to that place. And they make a yichud as a result of that, and the tzalim b'mochen the asab, tzalim b'mochen the devuna, the ponim. So this is now where the ponim comes in at ava. The ponim in nimshachim v'neknasa b'nuk. So then they come and they get set into the nuk. But Tavis, and where does it come into the nuk? When you get to the word melech, ozer, mashiach, umogain. When you get to those words, now we're making a switch over, and the mochen are now coming into the nukva. V'lachem become shuv yotzim b'menu, so then they come up memena, they come out from her, v'niknasim b'zer anpen, v'hu v'boines. So then what does he do then? She was originally just a dot. V'hu boino misaking parts of upon him, so that he builds up the parts of upon him on her, the nuk, b'mesha kol ha'tefillah shmona esrei, over the course of all of the tefillah of the shmona esrei. L'v'sim shalom na'asa ha'zivug, and then you have the yichud takes place there. So now you got there. V'la'acha ha'tefillah mistalkin b'menu kol ha'mochin the godless. So then the tefillah is over, and all of the mochin the godless leave, and the Shaar rak harishima shalachem. Now what they do with what happens with the rishima, I'm not sure, And so therefore, what does she have inside of herself, or what do we have here inside of Zun? Mochen de Kaddas. Plus a Rishimo of godless. Let's come over to Mincha. He says in Mincha, but the fetus of Mincha na'asa chatika b'kelim emse'iyim. Devar bi'arnu sha'aliyas abiruchim b'kelim emse'iyim na'asas yachid im aliyas abiruchim the fetus chakras. So they come in together, or they came in together originally with the when we're in chakras time. So therefore, like this, when there's a hamshacha of the, let me go back. As they're coming Mekriya Shema the chakras, also the Mochen the Ach the Kelim Metza'iyah come in. So in other words, they come down from the Yichud of Yitzhak Sabbat Tavuna. This is for Mincha time, but they don't actually enter into Zer Anpin. There's just a big chiluk there. And instead of hanging around inside of Zer Anpin, they're waiting. So Chav'ad Tefilus a Mincha. Barak HaMochen the Vok the Tavuna the Keilim Emse'iyim, and only the Mochen of the Vok of Tavuna the Keilim Emse'iyim Neknasa B'Zer Anpin B'Kriya Shema the Chakras B'Yachid in the Mochen the Vok the Tavuna the Keilim B'Penim, so they also come in. He says they come in here with the Keilim of the Vok the Tavuna the Keilim B'Penim of a Birchas Avos, so that when at Mincha time Na'asis some Shachas and Mochen Kol say that the Chakras, everything comes in the same way that we saw in chakras. In other words, the magic words that you say during, you say the word Yisrael has a certain effect, and then you say the words of the Birchei Avos. Mevad shachas l'kelim emse'im na'aseh shuv ke'esam shachad l'kelim b'benimim. So remember that we said that the Moshacha, the Mochen and Penimim come back again at Mincha time. Shechozim limshach limashach shenis hamocha shadachem shedistalkul achad tefillah chakras that left after that time. Eskanas Rav, so he says in the Drushot and Tefillos, I think we saw that. Shenimshachik eis rak hamochen devok, where we have really only the mochen devok coming in. What does he say here? He says the Tavuna, the Keilim Apnimim, but Tavuna, which is in the Keilim Apnimim, he says Apnimim, Shehem Perkim and Sa'im, with the time the Tzaddik. So let me see exactly what did he say. He said again, he says, Maskanas Rav, the Rav constriction in Mshachik Eis Rak Hamochin Devok the Tavuna the Keilim Apnimim. Let's see, we have a little note here down at the bottom, and the note says, "V'yesh la'ayim im nimshachim rak hamochen la'ak o gam depanim." So we have to really look over that. There's a havim b'chochma that says notes on that. So he said, "V'shehem b'pirkim em se'im v'tanta the tzaddik." Over the time of the tzaddik the tzalim. So it's only the two lower elements. Let's see what he says in number Zion down below. He said, "Hine hamochin beluvashim benai the yasas v'tavuna." That's where the mochin are located. V'anachin nechlochin l'tlas pirkim. But we know that the nachim is also divided into three parts. A mispashtim begimul kavim dezer anpin, and those three parts go into the three kavim dezer anpin. Tlas pirkim the netzach b'kav yamin rachan. Tlas pirkim the hod b'kav small was baga. But Tlas Pirkin the Yisod B'Kavim Soy is Dati. Nimsa Shachat Tlas Pirkin the Nai, so it comes out like this, that the three Pirkim and the Nai, the Yasos, Heim Kumash Shlema Shal Mochem Tzadid Tzalim, it comes out that they have all of the Tzadid Tzalim within them. Tlas Pirkim Elyonim is the Gar, Val Shisha Pirkim Tatoim is the Vok. V'ke'esa mincha, now mincha time, niknasim rak hamochen sheb'shnei pirkim tatom. You only have the chagat nai come in, that part of the which I guess would be what we would say. Let's go on. There would be lower 2/3. Shehema Nekroim v'vok the Tavuna, which are in fact the vok the Tavuna, v'chem mispashtim b'chabad v'chagat the Zer Anpin, and they're up at the top, a Zer Anpin, which leaves the Nai open. We're out of time now. We'll stop here.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay, call 2. We'll pick it up the next time.